Yasharahla, brothers. All right, this is Bishop Azariah of the Augusta Camp, One Body in Yahweh. We're also known as the Augusta Israelites. Putting our hands to the plow, preaching this word with sincerity and truth. I'm here to give fair warning of the Fair Use Act. This video is not for any profit. It's only for educational purposes. I get no money whatsoever from any of these videos, okay? The video that I'm recording. So with that, this is a video, a very important message from General Yahanna of the ISUPK, Slovakia. And I feel it's a very important message with the coming lockdown. So I'm gonna let this video play, and I will leave the hashtag for ISUPK for those people who follow them. All right, but the main point is the message that he's giving. Okay, because there's a serious agenda being aimed at the children of God, and I feel it's very important that we do prepare for brothers who have families, and and rehearsing the righteous acts. Okay, and you're serious about making it through Jacob's trouble. Okay, so this is only for the elect. All right. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get to playing it. I'm gonna start with this one first.
By the way, because you saw what happened the last time. Gloves and the mask really hurt the game. So you want to work on that. You want to be on top of that. You want to get that out the way. Okay? Gloves and mask, rubber gloves, dust mask. You want to get all that because you saw what happened last time. You want your cleaning. You want garbage bags too. Let me tell you something. Garbage bags ain't just for garbage. Garbage bags is for also when them toilets break down. Them toilets break down when sanitation breaks down. You need garbage bags. You need them garbage bags. You need them bleachers. Remember what happened last time with the bleachers? Get your bleachers on. Get your jugs of bleachers on. Have you 3 or 4 of them jugs in the basement or underneath the sink if you're in an apartment. Get that. You know what I mean? Run up in the dollar store. Get you 10 of them bottles of liquid soap. They're only $1 for the liquid soap. So get you 10 bottles of liquid soap. You know what I'm saying? Double up or triple up on some laundry detergent. You know, the chemicals is important. You got to have those. You got to have the dust mask. You got to have the gloves. You got to have the garbage bags. You know what I'm saying? Without those, you're going to have a lot of problems. You need some scrubbing brushes, some sponges. You need mops. All of that is necessary for this, for mistakes and mess-ups, especially if you have children, okay? You want to have that. You want to have a little toolkit. You want some screwdrivers, some wrenches. You need a couple of little things. It don't got to be a huge, humongous thing, but you need a couple of tools, man. If you don't have none, look around. If you don't have no screwdrivers in the house, you got a little problem. You know what I mean? Get you some screwdrivers. Get you a wrench. Get you some different tools that you can have in the event that something comes up. You want flashlights. Try to get you the rechargeable flashlights. They got the kind where you can shake them. Same like the crank radio. You can shake them. Preferably those type of flashlights so you don't have to worry about charging them and you don't have to worry about using candles. But get candles also. If you can get candles, they'll sell you a big pack of the little candles for, $3, $4. Get the big pack, throw it in there, get you a couple of them little 50-cent lighters, throw those up in the drawer as well. You covered, no problem. You got that. You know what I mean? You want to have that. Other items that need batteries, you want to add batteries to them other items if you can. Like I mentioned before, if possible, and you could have a generator, get you a generator. You know what I mean? A generator is always good to have. You got emergency, you got to get that car started. Now you're talking about the little packs. The packs are nice. If you can get the little boost packs, those are nice. But if you can have a full-fledged generator in the crib, a lot of power when you need it. You can run something serious, especially if you got power tools. You know what I'm saying? You need a kit with some tools. But hey, if you got power tools, especially if you got rechargeable power tools, you got them rechargeable drills, them rechargeable circular saws. Any of them rechargeable stuff is ideal if you got a generator, because you can always jack it in, crank it up, and you can, fabricate whatever you need. So you want to do that, okay? You want cash. Have you a little cash. Don't go crazy. Have some cash. When things got crazy out here, the credit card machines wasn't working. They was cutting people off the food stamps. They was running experiments on all that. We don't know what this beast's going to do. So turn around, get you some cash on hand, have you some cash stashed away somewhere, so if you need it, you can use it. Not no crazy amount. Don't have enough cash in your house for somebody to want to come in there and take that cash, but just enough for you to function with and flow if it comes up, okay? If it comes up, all right? You want to make sure that you now do a survey on your zone, both on the schools and a survey on your home in terms of security. That's important. If you can, get cameras. Get cameras outside your zone, so you ain't got to be running out wondering who the hell is out there doing what all the time. You can sit back, click it up on the TV or wherever. If the power's up, boom, you got your cameras. Check the locks on your door. You only got one lock, put two on it. You ask yourself a question. Can somebody is, 200 pounds come up against that door with some force? Will they bust that door open? You got one of them little BS locks with a couple little screws in it? Nah, get you a good sized deadbolt. Go down to Home Depot and get one of them sliding deadbolts. Where the bolts go all the way through the door and through the wall. Hook them all up like that. Get those. You got even more. You got all kind of other stuff. Get you, secure your zone. Secure your windows. Take a look at your situation and secure them zones. Okay? All right. And then after that's secure, you know what's next. You got to have some. If you are licensed, and all of this I'm saying, don't nobody do nothing illegal. Because that ain't going to help you later on when somebody's trying to move on you in a different direction. But if you can, have you some firearms in the crib. I recommend the minimal 2 handguns and 2 long guns. A handgun and 2 handguns, 2 long guns. That I recommend as the minimal, and ample ammunition. You understand? If you get into a scrape or a situation, don't go prepper crazy. Don't bug the hell out. You know what I'm saying? This, I know a lot of you, what I'm saying, you ready to see it all come apart. But, longevity and pacing yourself is the wiser way to do it. You know what I mean? And it also keeps you away from getting too excited and going into something foolish. You know what I mean? You got your licenses, you got your registrations. Put your tools up in the crib, get you your right ammunition, secure it in a nice place, both where you can get to it and where it's not in harm's way, especially if you have children in the house. Children will pick up a weapon if they see it. They watching them on TV, they're playing with toy guns every day. All they got to do is see it, and they're going to pick it up. I guarantee you, 9 out of 10, that's what they're going to do. So be wise with it. If you already have it, most brothers in states that do have it, so I know they ain't even sweating it. So they're going to make sure they on that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and some brothers will have more, and some will have more and more, you know what I mean? But if that's what you have, that's just what you have, as long as you legal and legit, you do your thing so that you can secure your zone, secure your family, and all that. All sisters that are not married, you are to work with the priest in charge of your school. Make sure you're working with him. Make sure he's getting you what you need. Make sure you are on his case about what you need. Don't pull back. Press up on him. Look, I need this. I need that. Let him get everything. You're under the priest. You're not married. You're under the priest. Let the priest give you and get you everything you need so that you can be secure within his ability. All captains, as usual, you can put in a request. You can get whatever it is you think you might need so that you can secure your people and keep your zone tight, okay? And walk in that. Again, there's much, much more that goes up on the list. I just want to run those basics to you directly, and again, I'll post the whole list. The list is absolutely amazing. Again, the brothers did an absolute amazing job on it, so it's perfect. Just add one other thing is you want some straight blades, some straight knives. You want, you know what I mean? It's good to have a click open knife, but in real survival situations, the preferred knife is a straight blade, because you might have to tie that to something to use, to dig, to chop, to cut, and you know them hinges on them open them what they call EDC knives. Them hinges sometimes go on you. Sometimes they can snap out and cut you. A straight blade, you know what I mean, K-bar knife style blade is probably excellent for you to have, one or two, maybe three even. So you can use them as you need them. They're excellent if you got to open a can, don't have a can opener. Bang, you get a K-bar right in the top of that can, and you can chop right on through, get you something, some 440 steel, if you can get it, you know what I'm saying, and have you one or two of those. They excellent tools. They double as a screwdriver, all of that, you know what I mean? So all that's perfectly good. You want to have some bug repellent, man. You get in a situation where you're stuck outside, you want some bug repellent, man. You want some bug repellent to keep it up off of you, keep the bugs up off of you. You get stuck outside, not a whole lot going to be in the winter, but again, we still got some months before it gets to that point. So get you some of that so you can have on hand. Like I said, it can fit right up in there with all of your antiseptics and antibiotic creams and your bandages and your gauze, you know what I'm saying, in case you get caught up into something. You also want some kind of vermin control. You want some Raid. You want something, preferably that spread, the pump bottle ones with that heavy duty stuff, because you don't want sewage or flooding or anything else, or just simply animals running loose like they did in the last time they locked down. The animals were all out the woods. You don't want them bringing new vermin that you're not used to into your environment. So you want to have it on hand, not necessarily always for inside, but for outside as well, so that you can keep down on vermin control, in the event you're stuck in the house, you're eating all the time in the house, you understand, the animals are moving around, before you know it, rats and all that is coming in, and boom. Get you some canned food if you have a pet, dogs and cats. Even though you may not want to feed your pet canned food, you got to have some prep food for them dogs as well. You may not eat canned food. You know what I mean? I don't eat very much canned food. It's rare that I eat food out of a can. But you want to have it on hand. And fruits and desserts, especially if you have kids, you want to have it on hand, because, of course, canned food is better than no food in the event of a horrible, horrible situation. So you want to have all of those locked into your zone. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to bring out one more scripture if I could, maybe one or two more if I could. Okay. Get 1 Timothy 6 and 7 real quick. Do I have that in here? Yes. I think I do. Right? Let me get that real quick. Here's what Paul said, 1 Timothy 6 and 7 and 8. As he said, let me go up above it, 6th verse, 1 Timothy 6 and 6. But good godliness with contentment is great gain. That's a heavy zone right there. Godliness with contentment is great gain. If you could be a man of the Lord and be content with what you have, you're going to get a whole lot more. You're going to gain a whole lot more, because that says you have a sense of discipline. You have a sense of discipline, and you can be content in any environment. You can be content with whatever situation you're in, and that'll give you the settledness and the wisdom and the time and the patience to work your way out of that situation into a better situation. But if you are discontent in the situation you're in, it's going to work against your better thinking on how to get up out of that situation. And in the work of the Lord, many times you take a loss because of the sacrifice of the work itself. You understand? And if you get in that situation, you want to have that patience. You want to be content with that while standing up for the Most High. Too bad Nick Cannon didn't understand that. Had he understood that, he would have said, I'm content with my 100 million if they take everything from me. But I'm going to stand on my integrity. And that was a lot to be content with. Because real soldiers of the Lord, you go back and read them scriptures, man. You understand? Them brothers, Elijah, when them was fed with by the ravens, man, by the birds. Birds came and brought them food. You know how much food a bird can't carry, but so much food. The birds had to feed him, okay? And not just him. Many of them prophets went through that. Many of them, Christ went and fasted all those days in the wilderness. Many of them brothers went through that and was near faint, but stood up for the word. So if you can be content with that, it's great gain. 7th verse. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. 8th verse. And let me tell you something. It goes to the point. This is a good exercise coming up, and a good exercise we into right now. Because this is an exercise to get you out of that spirit of things are always going to go on. We in the time of the end. This is going to end. Okay? It may not be this winter. It may not be, but it is going to end. That much you can be sure. Christ is coming to take this place back. And you want to be in that mindset, man, to be more prepared than, full of lust, as we were when we came out of Egypt. You want to be not that guy. You want to be Joshua and them. You want to be them cats that were so disciplined and down with Moses that they was ready to do whatever it took. And because of it, the Lord rose them up to the top. And once Moses stepped aside and was ready to move on to roll with the Lord and give up the spirit, them brothers stepped right in, did what they had to do, secured the zone, raised the nation up, and made it something amazing. And let me tell you something, man. They can talk all they want, but that little nation that came out of captivity in Egypt spawned all the religions of the world pretty much today. All the major religions of the world, they get their records from that amazing group of people that came out of that captivity. And that people is you. You are those people. So don't even be moved by none of that stuff. All right? Let me get a little bit more. 8th verse. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. 9th verse. But they that will be rich. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss that? Let me get 8th verse again. That was my last one. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. That was heavy. Paul was a straight up soldier. If he had food and the clothes on his back, that's all he needed. He wasn't worried about anything else. He had food and clothing. And that's a good way to be. It's good to be in that survival mode. It's even good to test yourself. Run the family through a drill. Go out and do a short camping trip, a one-nighter. Whatever you decide. You know what I'm saying? Go a day eating canned food, or go a day without, test it. Test your family. Test the zone. See what your real needs are. See who can handle a little bit of stress if it goes up into this situation. Better to have tried it and seen what has happened than to not try it for fear of upsetting everybody. And then, you end up in a situation and boom, now nobody can handle it. You know what I mean? And so try it. It's what they've been doing because, see, they've taken their kingdom serious. And that's why they out in survival mode and, doing all the things that they do to call themselves preppers and all that because they in that mode trying to save their kingdom. It's time for you now to be in that mode because you're about to build Christ's kingdom. And it's time for you to take that responsibility of that kingdom. So he said, with food and raiment, let us therewith be content with food and raiment, okay? So hold your ground with that. Here's what the Lord said, okay, in Mark. Let me get that right quick if I could. Mark, the 13th chapter, 18 verse. Let me go up above and see if I can get 17. All right. There's a few verses on it. Yeah, let's read it. Here's what he said, Mark 13 and 14. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that reads understand. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains, man. And that's exactly what we did. We flee the hell up out of Jerusalem. The ones that stayed behind, them different groups you read about during the time of Josephus that were fighting the Roman Empire, those was brothers who did not listen to Christ. They thought thought they could fight the Roman Empire and deliver the kingdom. And they were wrong. The Roman Empire still took over the kingdom, still put who they wanted over it, because it was the time of that prophecy, and wiped out the nation in 70 AD and slaughtered all of them and their families, man. Go back and read about the brothers and sisters of Masada and how they committed suicide because they were all stuck behind trying to battle the Roman Empire, when Christ said, look, this kingdom going to fall for the evil that we did. Flee ye out. We got to obey Christ. We got to do what he said. We can't do what we think we're going to say. You can only be tough as Christ allows you to be tough according to what his orders he gives you. You try to be tough outside of that, and you're just as ignorant as any other cat in the world, and you're just going to fumble the ball and harm yourself and the brothers around you, man. Let me read on a little bit more. 13 and 15, Mark 13 and 15. And let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein to take anything out of the house. Okay? And let him that is in the field not turn back again to take up his garment. That's preparedness, man. That's being prepared for destruction to come immediately. Mark 13, 17. But woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Because it's tough, of course, doing anything when you got a small child. You got to keep that child warm. You got to have food for that child. You got to have everything you need. You got to travel with that child. You got to take care of that child when they're sick. Tons of things that go on with a child. So Christ is saying, man, pray that it don't be that way, okay? Mark 13 and 18 real quick. Trying to just rush through this last bit because we've been on here almost an hour. And pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, man. Okay? For in those days shall be, 19th verse, for in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, but the Lord created unto this time, neither shall be. Meaning this is going to be the worst time ever. So you might as well prepare. You're reading the prophecy right here. So you might as well be prepared for what is about to happen on this earth, man. Hey, I'm out of here, Hebrews. Y'all stay up, man. I'll see you again Saturday, 1 o'clock. I'll get it in again. Join me Monday nights live, as usual, 9 p.m. We do it up with the heavy hitters in the building. Pay your tithes. Support this truth. I'll see y'all next time, y'all. Shalom. What's going on, fam? Commander General Yahanna here, man. Just want to jump in with you real quick. It's a Wednesday night. Just want to holler at you for a quick second on a couple of things like we talked about on Monday night. You know, it's time for us to get ready. It's time for, just at this particular time, this don't mean this is the full end and we going all into it, but we should be preparing now that we at this stage that we're in, and because we don't know what's going to happen with this silly ass virus nonsense and what they have planned. So all the experts are predicting that it's going to get really, really bad out here, that it's going to be, worse than it was the last time. The food shortages, the meat plants shutting down, the needs for so many stuff, masks, bleach, you remember all them things that went bad before. Well, they're expecting it to go bad again, and this time to be a lot worse, including more violence, including more riots, including more, anarchy from now right on into November. And then, of course, they'll have the election, and we'll see what happens. They're talking about coming out with a virus, with a vaccine in December, blase blim blam. We'll see what goes down, you know what I'm saying? But, we'll follow whatever the Lord say, and so now it seems like it's around that time when we need to just get it all and get it on, you know what I'm saying? So, let's go through a couple real quick scriptures if we could. Just to back it up, one scripture real quick to back it up, Proverbs 6 and 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. And that's what we're doing. We ain't going to be the sluggards. We're going to be wise in this time and prepare our people. Big shout out to Officer Yasharahla out in Dallas, Texas. Did an amazing job, put a full report together for me on everything that's going on. I'll probably post this report on Facebook and probably in the community and YouTube. It's about 13 pages. It's an exhaustive report, okay? But, some things will take priority over others. Some things was also recommended and FEMA believes you should have. I'll be pointing out some things. So let's just check it out. All right. First of all, water. You know they want you to have water. You know you got to have water. Experts say 1 gallon per person per day. You want it to last. You want to be in the range, in this case, of about 12 weeks. You want to have about a 12-week run, because it's going to really probably, if it goes the way they predicted, and I don't have to, but if it goes the way they predicted in September, October, November, that's going to be your big hitters. Might be roll into December, January, February before it all starts to taper off in March. So it could be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. You want to prepare 3 months if you can on the things that you need. So I'm just going to mention a few again. I'll post the list and everybody can go on and check it out. I'm not calling it as the end of the world. Don't nobody trip out on this. But things in America are changing. That much I can tell you. Things are changing with the empire, in that the empire is starting to shut down. I said this before. They're trying to transition into another empire. They finished with the old empire. Now they're ready to start a new empire, because they know they're going into the space age. They want to consolidate the planet. They don't want all these different factions, but there's nothing they can do. The biblical prophecies are the biblical prophecy. That's their plan. But the plan of the Lord is He's going to bring all these kingdoms to their knees. So, a couple of things. Water. You want a gallon a day for each person in your household. All right? If you can do it for 15 days, perfect. You can do it for 30, even better. Don't get crazy with it. Don't turn into a hoarder. Don't bug out. But just do it, quickly as you can, without, too much madness going on. Non-perishable meals. Again, I'll publish the list. I'll go into them. But you want a lot of non-perishable meals. You want things that you can eat. Rice, beans, pasta, oats, stuff like that. You want also stuff like dry milk, things of that nature. Dry milk. You want those canisters that you make lemonade and juice out of from the powder. All of that stuff is non-perishable. Put them in the right containers. Take them, if you can, take them out of any cardboard containers. Put them in glass, or preferably some type of plastic container where if it falls, it don't break. You can always go back, keep it semi-fresh. You can always get all that at the dollar store or Walmart. Get your perishable, your non-perishable stuff. Cans. That's also not a quick perishable food. You want to stock up on your cans. Canned fish, canned meat, canned vegetables. Whatever you can do sensibly with cans. Make sure it's something that you eat. They always want you to know that. You want something that you can eat. Try to store up on it. Start looking at 3 months. Because it's going to, if it slides, if it goes the way they're saying, it's going to slide into all kind of madness, man. But you don't want to go into panic mode and madness mode. The Lord is with Israel. So you're going to be delivered up out of here. It's just going to be a battle, that's all. So you want that. You want a crank radio if you can get it. Again, I'll go through the full list. We'll talk a little bit more. Crank radios are those little radios you see in them survival stores and in those military-style stores. And they crank up, okay? They use hand-crank generated power. So you spin it, charge it up, and they give you some time to listen to the radio. It's very important because, when they had the hurricane up there in Staten Island, when the Lord destroyed all them homes and all that out there, they had food supply centers set up right outside the area. But people were in the house after the disaster and didn't have radio, so they didn't even know there was food and water piled up, waiting for them right outside. You want them radios to know what's going on, you know what I mean? You want to be able to do that. You also want to have, if you can get it, General Cabal always kept a couple of these around, and those are those mini solar power generators where you can hook up a USB and hook up your cell phone to it, okay? That's also a big plus. The cell phone can even beat out the crank radio because the cell phone, of course, can go to multiple websites, multiple radio stations. If you got iHeart or one of those, chances are the internet's going to be functioning because they'll be bouncing it off the satellite. If you can get one of those little handheld, solar power chargers, then you jack your phone in, run it when the sun is out, let it charge up, you're good to go, and it charges up. Many of them have a battery in the charger, so that even if it ain't no sun out that day, you can use the battery on the charger that's already charged up. Very, very good to have with your cell phone. Even an old cell phone that's off is good if you can get some Wi-Fi at the time. No guarantees, because if it really get bad, they might start doing intermittent power just to cut the power down. They may cut the cable off. Anything could happen in this type of stuff. So we're just doing a little preparation, man, to be on top of all of that. So that's where you want to be. You want your non-perishable foods. You want your water. Of course, if you're in an apartment, you can't do as much as you could do if you were not in one. But you want to be able to store some stuff up and have what you need. You want to also, freezers is very important if the power stays on. It's important to have those freezers if you're going to prepare, if you want to hold on to meat. The freezer is your first line, because you got your meat, you got your vegetables. Now, if the freezers go down, of course, you will lose that meat and those vegetables. But if it doesn't go down and it just gets like it was last time, at least you got your freezer with meats and vegetables in it. It's probably a good thing to have. If you even better, you'll have a generator. Okay, you'll have a generator, and the generator can back up your freezer. Then you're really in good shape. Get you a can of gas. If you got a home, I don't suggest it in an apartment unless you have a terrace that you can put that generator outside, because them fumes will put you down if you play games with it. Same with kerosene heaters. I don't suggest you use one unless you absolutely have to. And you better be well ventilated with those, okay? But if you have the funds and you're able, once again, everybody won't be able to get everything, but you want to put something together, because, of course, it could get ridiculous, okay? So try to have your freezer, try to have a generator. Also, too, a little trick that everybody doesn't know about. There's a kit out there. You can find this on the internet, on YouTube. There is a gas conversion kit that they have for generators. If you got gas in your house, like a gas stove or something like that, and you can get a generator, you can get this kit. It's cheap. It's like $20. Might need some hoses or something, a little instruction manual. You can hook it up to a gas generator and jack in your gas hose. And your gas hose will run that generator. And you won't have to run out to get gas. You don't have to run out and do any of that. You plug it right in just like it's plugged into your stove. Always ready when you need it. You plug it right into your generator, crank the generator up, it runs off the gas. You can run everything in the house all 24/7. Of course, you're going to get a big-ass gas bill, but that's down the line. At least you out of the danger that you need at that time. So look into that. I'll be posting little stuff in the YouTube channel, on the community post, and different areas, you know what I'm saying, little products we find. General Q, Officer Shalmar, who put our master list together, he'll probably be posting some stuff too, and other brothers and sisters too, you know what I'm saying. You know, let's don't get crazy with it. Don't make it our all focus. I know London, a lot of y'all is, full out ready for the end of the world. Y'all can't wait till the kingdom shut down, but I don't get your hopes up too high. This might just be a simple phase we got to deal with at this time. So I want you to be prepared, ready, up in the spirit, ready to do it, okay? So that's what you do with that. You want to have a first aid kit, something that most people don't put together. And the first aid kit doesn't have to be that elaborate. You can build you a first aid kit with a small bunch of items over time that you get right out of the CVS or the Walgreens or the Walmart. Okay, you can go on YouTube and see first aid kits, what you need. You need some ACE bands, of course, if somebody get bruised or hurt. You want to have that. You want to have some, some A&D ointment, some antibiotic ointment if you can get it. You want some painkillers. You want painkillers. Somebody get hurt, or you get hurt, or you get sick, or something like that. You want some painkillers on hand. Another thing too about your prescriptions. If you have prescriptions that get refilled, it's probably a good time now to go in and get your prescriptions refilled, even if you haven't run out of what you already have, if they allow you to get it. Sometimes they allow you to get it depending on how serious it is, because You want to be ahead, because remember the last pandemic, the pharmacies were in gridlock with people trying to get pills, and a gazillion Edomites are on those opioids. So they're going to be bombarding these pharmacies for all kind of drugs. So now's the time, if you want some kind of prescription blood pressure medicine or something like that, see if you can go in and get your prescription filled. See if you can get the refill fills. A lot of times you can just call in, ask for the refill. They'll pull it up, see that its refill is acceptable. They'll issue it. You can go on down there and pick it up. Even though you might not have finished that first bottle, check to make sure you're doing everything legal with that, though. I don't think you can do that with every medicine. So just, check with your doctor or your pharmacist to make sure it's good. But if you can do it, you can be a little bit ahead of the game. It's a good thing if you don't have to wait till you down to your last 3 pills before you got to go get another bottle. It'd be nice if you could have 15, 20 pills, and then you ordering your next bottle, and then you staying on your regimen. Of course, don't abuse your medications for those of you that are on them, you know what I mean? So you want to do that along with having that first aid kit, some peroxide. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these sisters out here, especially in the truth, they know all the stuff you need. A lot of sisters that have been raising children, they all up in the spirit. They know already everything you need. That peroxide, that rubbing alcohol, Vaseline, you need all that. And a couple H bands, this, that, different stuff like that. Couple braces if you need a brace or use a brace. You want all of that. Also, going back to the water, if you can. Everybody can't do this, but if you can, you want to get you a small purifier. If you can get a small, even the kind that come in a bottle for them camping trips. Okay, if you can, it's nice to get you a nice Berkey. Them Berkeys is amazing because they got fluoride filters and carbon filters. You can damn near put mud water in them, and the water will come out clean enough for you to drink. So if you can, but then they got smaller ones that are, for camping, and them things are good. Even the pills are good. They got the pills where you throw it in the water and it kills everything in the water. Those are okay. The filters are better, but it can't be just a particle filter. You need a charcoal filter to filter out all of the real bad stuff, and that's good just in case things go south or get lax. Over time, the municipalities can get lax, where even the water coming in through the pipe, which is already probably bad, can get even worse. You know what I'm saying? And even in that type of situation where you can't just run to the doctor because things are locked down, you want to be more careful not to drink something that's going to get you sick and upset and put you down. So, of course, if you can have some type of water filtration in the crib, now's the time to get it. Once again, you don't got to turn into a prepper and board up the house and have backpacks lined up across the ceiling and start bugging. But you want to be just prepared for, long-term issues as things progress. Because we got to see a lot of the nonsense that took place the last time. And if it goes the way they say it's going to go, or could go, we could end up in, a 3-month to 6-month lockdown, which is a long-ass time. 3 months drove people crazy. They go another 3 months is going to drive people crazy. 6 months would be insane. So, let's see how it goes. And then, a lot of asthma, a lot of influenza, a lot of flu is going to be going around on top of all of that. Now they're finding out kids are getting it and all this other stuff. So it's a good time to be on top. If you can have some antibiotics in the crib just as a backup, if they allow you to, you have a prescription for some, it's always good to have some on hand. You know what I'm saying? If anything else that you can have is good to have, you know what I mean? Tell you another thing that you should have. I noticed with the floods in Houston. Also, big shout out to Captain Yahanna from Yard, putting together the funds and getting the boats, man. After the Houston floods, Captain Yahanna was working on metal boats, small boats for rescue. Incredible brother, incredible work he's doing down there with the brothers in Texas. In Houston, a lot of people were stuck up on their roofs, stuck up in the attic, because the houses was flooded. So when brothers and sisters is coming through, or you want to know who's around, just being up in an attic while the flood is going on and it's quiet out because nobody's moving is a very, very eerie thing. It's a weird, eerie feeling. And you feel extremely vulnerable because there's water coming up to the ceiling damn there, and you got no doors up there. Anybody can float on in on some water and come into your house. So it's a very uncomfortable feeling. A lot of brothers and sisters were very stressed over it. So this is a suggestion. Get you some whistles, man. Metal whistles, preferably. Go down to the kids' store, the Toys R Us, if they still around, or whatever. Walmart. Get you a little hand set of whistles with the string. So if things get crazy out here, you can throw a whistle over your neck. When something go down, you lift the whistle up, and people can hear you. Somebody get near the house, you can blow that whistle. They can know what's going on, just so you ain't got to pull you know what on who you know who. You know what I'm saying? That whistle could help out. Just to have. These are one-time things that you could have now. You don't got to worry about them no more. You put them up. You maintain them, you forget about them, you get them when you need them, you know what I mean? And what's beautiful, let me tell you what's beautiful about all of this. What's beautiful about this is the Lord is moving us out of the spirit of the entertainers of this kingdom. Like this little set, now we might go back to it temporarily, but for right now, what is beautiful and positive about this that you can look at is that the Lord is shunning on us being the dancers and singers and sports figures. He's shunning on it, meaning he's shutting that down somewhat. And as he starts to shut that down, he's making us start to look at the real things in life that you need. Like, as time's going on, ain't nobody trying to go out there and, get a bunch of carnal things. Now you're starting to look at things that are really necessary for you. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing because we done played in this kingdom for them for the longest. We done been the buffoons and the clowns and the everything else that we could be. I watched, I ain't even going to tell you about it, but it was horrible. I'll probably bring it out on the show. My point being, it's a good thing that we now taking life a little more serious. Now you're going to understand why brothers and sisters in the UBK always was so laced up boots and always on a semi-militant state, because we always knew in this biblical prophecies that these things were getting ready to come to pass. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm going to get it. First, let me get it. Hold on, y'all. Let me read one right quick if I could. All right. Bear with me one quick second if I could. All right. Bear with me 1 second, fam. All right. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall have no escape. That's such a good scripture there. For when this kingdom really starts to look like it's peace and safety, and they start bringing it together, the Most High going to bring sudden destruction on them. And that's exactly what happened with the coronavirus. They were in the height of the Trump campaign. The economy was rocking. White supremacy was on the rise. Trump was talking about there was good people on both sides. The economy was bumping. They started the Space Force, a fifth column to the military. They just was on the rise, and then bang, the coronavirus came, sudden destruction. In 3-4 months, the whole empire was shut down, coast to coast, all over the world. The Lord brought that empire down. You know what I'm saying? And travail upon a woman with child, and that's a heavy point too, because that coronavirus came down on the empire just like a woman getting a sudden pain when she's having a child. And metaphorically, it was the Lord showing us that it was a pain that was to move us closer to that deliverance of Christ. What you see is going on with the coronavirus is a step closer to that deliverance that Christ is about to bring. That was another sign or another pain of the birth that's getting ready to come forth for the return of Yahushua and the rulership of the kingdom. That was a step closer to it. And so that's why it was so on point in the grand scheme of things, all right? So, of course, you need dust masks. And another thing, too, about the freezers, even if you believe that you have enough room in your house freezer. If you can get a small freezer and maintain it, it's a good idea. Not for you only, but for your brothers and sisters. There's going to be a lot of brothers and sisters in distress that's going to need places to store food up. Take y'all out to see the refrigerated truck and how we preparing. Our big shout out to General Shalmar, getting ready to start shipping the meat that you saw General Muhammad. Big shout out to General Muhammad, went out and got down with Captain Yahanna and the brothers in Texas and secured different avenues for us to bring meat across the country to feed our people and get everybody right. So they're working on that. And they're going to have that moving. And of course, you know, I always work with the refrigerated systems, so that stuff is going to come together and everything is looking very good with that. I'll take y'all out and let y'all check that out. So it's good to have that, okay? Of course, you know, dust masks. Dust masks and half-face respirators. Half-face respirators are those masks you see cats that when they painting, they got those masks with the two filters on the side. Those are half-face respirators. If you can get one of those or a few of those, it's good to have. You know what I mean? Just to stock up. The dust masks are good. The dust masks are nice. But the half-face respirators are for serious business. That's when you step when they, you know, they're hitting on airborne stuff, fires, smoke coming everywhere. Half-face respirators, perfect for that. Perfect for chemicals that get spilled. Perfect when you use too much bleach or something go down where people can faint. You got a half-face, slap it on with a good filter on it. You know, pick out the right filters. You got filters that stop vapors and all of that. And it's good to invest in one for 30 or 40 bucks. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could really have some good protection from something that could happen. Once again, it's a $40 investment. You throw it up in the bin or the backpack or the whatever bag, and you're done. You got to think twice about it, all right? Next going down the list is duct tape. Let me tell you something. Duct tape and plastic, I know this from just, you know, being in situations. Duct tape does save everybody's ass once or twice, a lot. Duct tape is, you know, key. You can have a couple rolls of duct tape, you can almost fix just almost anything. If you really want to step it up, get you a can of 3M spray glue. You get the 3M spray glue, you get the dust mask, you could damn near, you know, hang a car from the ceiling if you wanted to. Duct tape is extremely good for that. Here's what it's good for as well. And this is why you want to get plastic. You go to a Home Depot or Lowe's, and they got the plastic drop cloths. Get the heavy-duty plastic drop cloths. They're $3 a pop. Some of them is 20 feet long. You get one or two of those. You got some nice plastic. I think it's 1 mil or 2 mil plastic. You get that plastic, then, you know, somebody throws something through your window, some gunshots go off, something break a glass, somebody smash a glass somewhere. You got some plastic that's not going to rip as quick as a garbage bag. You got some duct tape. You can repair that situation and get it moving. You may have to partition off something in an emergency or some other situation like that. You'll be able to do that. You can do that, and you can, you know, keep it moving from there without an issue. So duct tape is good to have. Throw a couple in the basement, dig yours up if you have them. Put that together, you know what I mean, and get that plastic with you. Like I said, if you want to really get down, you can get you a can of spray glue, and that'll make the duct tape. Sometimes you put duct tape on something that doesn't stay that well, or with the spray glue, you spray it, give it about 10 seconds before you put the duct tape on, lay the duct tape on it, and brother, it'll seal like you never sealed something before. Very good if you got leaks in the house this winter. You're stuck in the house hours on a time. You got drafts, mold trying to get in because you got a draft somewhere. Boom, you roll with that and seal that up. You'd be surprised. You can wrap yourself in it if you need to. You get stuck outdoors or stuck in a situation in the car. You know what I mean? I've been on the road, especially up in Ohio, where, you know, they had, you know, Ohio is a lot of flatlands going through Ohio near 95. And so when a storm comes through, it lays everything down. It don't be up in the mountain. So as they lay everything down, it shuts down the whole highway. And the people in passenger cars get wiped out. And they get wiped out because, of course, the passenger car can only run but so long on fuel, and there's no real room for bed. You got 3-4 people in a car, you're in a bad situation, especially if you don't have a refrigerator or anything. And plastic can help you in that type of situation. It's not the ideal situation, but it can help you, you know what I mean? Also, too, some blankets, man. Get you some blankets. Have the blankets that you use, of course, with your house, but get you some extra blankets where you can stack up 5 or 10 blankets. You can get them cheap. Don't have to be expensive, big, you know. The Walmart got them $5 a pop. You add a couple of to them, you stack them up. Now you got some extra warmth if you need it. You got extra cash. Hey, get you a sleeping bag. Can't hurt nothing. These are just stuff that we can stock up and have. Be prepared. You might need it to give it to another brother, somebody else. You know what I mean? You want rubber gloves. You want them rubber. And listen, the gloves and the mask, you got to work on it.
Kwamra Shiala! Shalom, Akim. Walk circumspect.